wasn't until I was sort of leaving school when I got a contract to go up to Hawke's Bay and be part of their academy, and I didn't have anything else. And sort of 18, 19 was when I started taking it pretty serious. What they said, if you want to give it a good crack, then New Zealand under-20s was sort of the goal. It was awesome to be a part of that team. There's some boys that I'm playing with the Chiefs here that were part of that team, and there's plenty of them that are playing in New Zealand still, so it's always great to see them. And it was obviously the first sort of professional environment that you got to be a part of, and we were all still so young, and I think maybe Sam and Gareth Hanscom were the only ones that, and Lima, were the only ones that play in Super Rugby. But now I look back at that team and think how special it probably was at the time, and the special group of players, and it's easy to see why people have gone so far with their rugby careers, because it's just such a talented and hard-working bunch of sort of boys back then, and it's awesome to still bump into them and see what they're doing all around the world.
The captain 2011 here in Italy, Luke Whitelock, and the Baby Blacks.
When we got named in the All Blacks for the first time, Sam and Ali Williams were already there, and me and Luke Romano were the kind of two new locks, and Ali hung up the boots, and I guess it was kind of between me and Luke, and I don't know, I guess just by playing well got picked and started to form a bit of a partnership with Sam, and he's got high standards and he goes about his game, and I do mine, and we're just trying to play our part within the team, so I guess it's formed a pretty good partnership. I always looked at it as All Blacks, it would be awesome to do, but never had an expectation on myself to get there, and to walk into the room and be with those sorts of players after what they've just done of win the World Cup in New Zealand and all the excitement and how many people got behind it. I guess it's a big responsibility, but it's something I relished, and never looked back. Sort of back when I started, there was either the physical lock or the lock that was skilled airily, and I tried to think of it as why not be able to do both. So I tried to have a good skill set and still being physical and being able to carry well and clean out when you need to. Just been at the movies when the shortlist come out, and one of the boys said congratulations, and I didn't even really know what happened. I said, what for? And he told me, and then after the game, Joe Locke, our media manager for the All Blacks, come and told me that I won it, and it was definitely a bit of a surprise. I think it's probably something I'll look back on maybe when I finish rugby. It's, I don't take the awards too seriously, because without the 15 or the 23 or the whole squad, no one gets them. So it's obviously nice, but it's just great to be a part of a great team that's winning. Got a phone call from Gilbert Anoka to let me know, so it was a phone call welcoming and named in the All Blacks squad. It was something that was talked about in New Zealand for probably a good 8 or 9 months before the naming, so it was a relief to get there. A World Cup is different, there's no two ways about it. There's a hell of a lot more on the line compared to a Saturday Test match, and our whole build-up and going to England of All Blacks hadn't won a World Cup anywhere but New Zealand was something we had talked about, so it was exciting, and the rugby was great as well. From my perspective, it's a little bit disappointing. I can't imagine I'll be here next time the Lions come to New Zealand, so it obviously would have been nice to be able to say that you won a Lions series. I guess the draw was not as bad as a loss maybe, but we wanted to come away with a win in that series, and it didn't quite happen, so I guess it's probably a little bit of a missed opportunity. I just try and work hard and keep a high personal standard about what I'm doing on the field, and and try not to let myself down. It obviously takes a bit of hard work, but the physicality side is something I've always enjoyed, so it's certainly getting a bit harder to get over the games. After a few seasons, the body is feeling it a bit more, but it's something I enjoy, so it comes quite easily.